Truth Seekers, it is Monday, May 31st, last day of May, and it's 2:51 p.m. here in the Arizona desert. So, big deal. We've got a positive MACD cross. So, on the daily, we have for the first time a positive candle here on the histogram for the daily MACD. The MACD, the blue line, has crossed positive over the signal, the red line. This is a big deal. I mean, if we look now, because I know it's this ancient indicator, I get a lot of crap about it, so save your breath. But check it out. Back when it crossed negative, if you had, sold on that candle, even at the bottom, and, right now, if you were buying, here where we're having the positive cross, worst case, you would have made, 24%. So let's just say, 20%, because nothing's perfect. So, or you could have bought possibly when you saw the MACD, negative cross most likely going to happen, you could have hedged out. Then you'd have made an easy 33%. So with that said, these are a big deal. And if you go back, just do a daily chart, get some, time there, get some distance and look at it, you'll see that, daily MACD positive and negative swings are a big deal. People do follow them. And I would say there are a lot of automated sells and buys based on the MACD swing on the daily, which does tend to affect the market. So, daily MACD has just crossed positive. It's only just crossed, but still, it did cross positive. So, good. We're still well below the 200 moving average, but we are challenging it once again. Well, not challenging it quite yet, but we have two daily green candles in a row. And if we look how far are we from crossing that 200 moving average towards the positive again, about 11%, 12%, and we'll be across it. Bitcoin can do that in a day, especially when you see a positive MACD cross. Give this until tomorrow. If this positive MACD cross stays, would not surprise me if we bump right over that 200 moving average again and get back into an extremely bullish market. And then all the ass clowns who've been crying it's over will start saying that, oh my gosh, we're back in the bull market. So just saying. Anyway, check this out. This is a 45-minute chart for Bitcoin. Now I want to, let's look over here first before that. This is a 12-hour chart for Bitcoin, and I did this Fibonacci sequence way back, starting about like the middle of March, where I saw, this uptrend begin. I mean, Fibonacci sequences are always a bit of a matter of opinion, and this is my opinion. This is how I drew it. But if we look in this wide time frame here, this is actually, if you think about it, I mean, check this out. This is actually kind of a very perfect Bart Simpson pattern, isn't it? After all that crap, you end up right back where you started from. And if we look, well, there we go. We're right back where we started from. So, with that said, let's just look at this a little bit closer. Try to rock through all this quick. I know it is a holiday today. I just wanted to look at the charts real quick because I think we're seeing some positive stuff. All right, so we have hung out at the .5 before. We've almost visited the 618 before. But if we look, we've definitely found some support here in the .5, which is right around 34,441. And if we look, we do have an uptrend moving. And as you can see, the little rocket ship to Pluto is on its way. So let's just see. It would not surprise me at all if we challenge this 382 fib line, especially with the positive MACD cross. And if we get a positive daily, I'd say a positive daily MACD cross, and a positive 200 moving average in the daily also. If we get above that, definitely have no doubt we can challenge this 41,692 382 fib line. So make ready. I think we are just completing a perfect Bart Simpson pattern, which is, well, definitely something that Bitcoin knows quite well. Like I say, set an alert and watch for the daily 200 moving average to get crossed, and I think, boom, it's going to be wonderful. All right, this is a 45-minute chart for Bitcoin, and it is really, let's see if I can pull some of this in. Nah, I'm not going to bother here. This is good enough. The 200 moving average is a 45-minute chart, and it's really riding it quite hard. It's trying to break above it. It has broken above it some. So, and this little blue diamond here shows when it breaks to the 314 and the 200 within two candles. These little purple squares are when it breaks the 200 moving average. So basically, it's really pushing on a 45-minute chart. And I think if you hourly is great, but I'll tell you what, I think the 45-minute chart will tell you a lot more about immediate price action than the hourly. It can give you an edge. Everyone's looking at the hourly. Look at the 45. You'll get an edge. Not financial advice ever, just entertainment purposes only, but I believe the 45-minute chart is better than the hourly to some extent. I have found that it has helped me see immediate price actions with much greater accuracy than the hour. Now, with that said, directional index is in the green right now. ADX is, whoo, it's at 27. That's wonderful. We do have a, it always kind of gets messed up against USDT for BTC for some reason, my squeeze indicator, but basically it is on the positive side. The KRI, come on now, if I can get it to work. KRI, will it open up for me? KRI is in the green above the mid-range. That is beautiful. Stochastic RSI is at the bottom. And the wave trend oscillator by Lazy Bear, linked over at Bitcoin Daily, linked to over at Bitcoin Daily View. It's showing a positive uptrend. The signal just, I should say, the wave trend oscillator line just broke the above the signal. This is kind of like a super fancy MACD. You can check it out. It's a wonderful indicator. Anyway, in the 45-minute chart, of course, we could break down, we could break up, but ultimately, I think with a daily MACD cross to the positive, and if we can continue moving up over this 200 moving average, which could definitely happen. It could happen tonight, it could happen tomorrow, whatever. We usually get a jolt after a firm 200 moving average cross on the daily chart. Once we get above the 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart, and we find support above that, the indicators look just beautiful. 15-minute chart, it's definitely immediate price action for 15-minute chart, but here we've broken above the 200 moving average and the 314 moving average, and we're going sideways, which is obvious. You can see that sideways, and it's reflected right here on the 45-minute chart. So let's see which way it breaks. I think with a positive MACD cross on the daily, especially if that is followed by a 200 moving average cross, boom, we're going to be in luck. All right, and once again, 12-hour chart here, looking at a huge area of time. I think we just completed a perfect Bart Simpson pattern, and now we got a little rocket ship to Pluto taking off once again. I think that's confirmed if we zoom out a little bit. Ethereum versus USDT, pretty much doing what Bitcoin is doing, but maybe a little bit better off. On the 45-minute chart, it is above the 200 moving average, and indicators look really strong. I like it. I've been watching XRP against BTC for a possible trade, and it broke above the 200 moving average, spiked a bit, and now it's kind of going sideways. Bit of a shaky trade there. I'm just going to delete this because I've lost interest in that. All right, let's look at Doge against USDT. Recently, it has challenged the 200 moving average. It's not quite over it. Indicators look really strong. I'm liking this. I think if Bitcoin does break above the 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart, especially if it breaks above the 200 moving average on the daily, and that daily MACD cross stays positive, Doge will start to run like a squirrel on after 10 shots of espresso. I feel confident about that. I'll probably be hedging into some Doge versus USDT to get some of that wonderfulness. I like having some Doge when I can make money off of it. Now, SHIB USDT, Shiba Inu coin versus USDT, it just spiked above the 200 moving average recently, and it is cruising above. Indicators look beautiful. It does not want to wait around. I think it's looking for some all-time highs. It's doing much better than Bitcoin is doing right now. As far as the chart. Anyway, Shiba Inu, SHIB versus USDT, you can get that over at Uniswap against Ethereum and such like that. Also, it's now available on Binance, an easy buy. So, if you've got some extra USDT and you want to buy some cool stuff, SHIB is looking great. Not financial advice, just entertainment purposes only. But I think it's definitely a player. Okay, this is another look at that same chart, the 12-hour. I forgot I had two of these open. This shows all the oscillators, which all in all look okay. I would like to see the directional index in the green, and the ADX not trending down, but that's fine. I'll take it. On this time frame, I think that I'm not so concerned about the directional index or the ADX on this time frame so much because it's been quite the steep downtrend and uptrend. So anyway, this chart probably shows it better. Where'd it go? Yeah, perfect Bart Simpson pattern, and we're probably going to just moonshot off of that. That's just a prediction. That's what I think will happen. ADA versus USDT. Recently we were above the 200 moving average. We kind of broke below it to the 314, made a bounce. Now we are just cruising up, and indicators look beautiful for ADA. Cardano versus USDT is looking like pretty darn good stuff. So anyhow, that's my take on things. Let's look at the Bitcoin trading volume last 24 hours. It's a 5.4 billion, 3.3 on Binance, and didn't get over a billion on Coinbase. I would just say that I think right now there's been billions purchased since this recent quick, rather abrupt downturn, and most of it's been OTC, and we can't see it. I don't believe that. Well, actually, I've already looked and found some sources to that document, but I didn't think to get those up here. I'll show them like tomorrow. But basically, big money's buying billions in Bitcoin. You can see it on almost any crypto market, crypto news you'll see that definitely OTC buys, which we're just not seeing here in the trading volume, are freaking massive. So the big boys and girls are picking up the cheap Bitcoin and by the billion. So this shakeout, maybe it's done. I mean, maybe it's not. We'll see. I think a lot of us, after this unexpected dump, or maybe it was expected by some, the cynical people who think it's going to dump 24/7, 365 days a year. When it does, they say, look, I was right. Who usually live miserable friggin' lives. Of course, those self-righteous assholes will say that they knew it was going to dump, but I don't think anybody did. Some people I know, actually many, who are very, very sharp, amazing TA analysts and who know the market very well, got caught off guard by it also. So it happens. Anyway, you may tell them I'm bitter. I'm tired of listening to those self-righteous assholes. Good things can happen in the world, even if it pisses them off. Anyway, Bitcoin longs versus shorts on Binance, 57% longs, 42% shorts. That's a pretty close ratio. And then for ETH, we got 60% longs and 39% shorts. So that is pretty tight. Sentiment definitely is, even though it may seem to be slightly bullish, I would say sentiment is pretty neutral. This is from earlier. This tweet that I found here, it's 7 hours ago. Somebody moved $1 billion in Tether over to Binance. So, well, I tell you what, no one has $1 billion of risk on an exchange who ain't going to do something about it. So watch for that big ass buy. I think that the big old whales are going to start pushing this thing. I mean, they win when it dumps. They win when it pumps. It's just very unfortunate that when it does dump, oftentimes the retail investor who is a hodler kind of loses some, portfolio value against the USD. And oftentimes, you gotta look at it like this. If you're a hodler and you've been in for a while and you have a lot of profit, if you do hedge out, the capital gains tax oftentimes makes it pointless, makes it a loss, because even though you buy back in lower, well, when that capital gains hits, you didn't really make any money, maybe even lost it. So like I said, the swing was rough on people. I think people are going to be much wiser in the future. I know I have been. And I wish everybody a good holiday weekend. This is Memorial Day. To me, it's fun, but it's always a bit of a somber holiday, And, hey, all you soldiers, like, well, myself was at one time, I'm sorry if you guys who got, blown in half. I hope that it was, for something. Anyway, take care, everybody, and I will see you again tomorrow.